Hello Internet, my name's Liam, and today I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks for memorising where all the notes are on your guitar's fretboard. That's right, all of them. I'm going to help you do this by giving you 8 steps, each of which you will have to learn as complete and absolute facts before moving on to the next one. The first few are what I refer to as anchors. Anchors are things that just are. They are, for all intents and purposes, scientific facts. You just have to know them and be able to say them immediately, without even thinking. So let's get started. Step number 1. I call it that because it's the easiest one, and that's why it's first. You need to know the notes on the open strings. So going low to high, the first one is E, second one is A, third is D, and then G, B, and the highest one is E again. E, A, D, G, B, E. Step number 2. You're going to learn that same series of notes but 1 octave higher. If you don't know already, anything you do on the 12th fret is the same note as that open string, however it's 1 octave higher. So it's the same series. E, A, D, G, B, and E. There you go, that's step number 2. For step number 3, you're going to learn the notes on each of these dotted frets on the low E string, or inlay strings, whatever you want to call them. So, the 3rd fret of the E string is a G, 5th fret is A, 7th fret is B, and the 9th fret is C sharp. If you're on the Tumblr page, this one, in case you're not, you'll be able to see a diagram of the guitar fretboard with the notes in the right place. You can see it spells out C sharp bag, and that's what you can remember if you want a mnemonic or something. And then the 4th step, we're still on the E string, is to remember that this fret, the first one, is an F, the 8th fret is C, and this 10th fret is D. So to recap on step 3 and 4, you know where all the natural notes are, and you also know where all the notes are on these frets. This is also around about the time that I ought to point out that the notes C flat, B sharp, F flat, and E sharp do not exist. Enharmonically, C flat is equivalent to B, and B sharp is C. So rather than A sharp, B, it's just B, C, and then C sharp, D. That's just the way music is. That's another thing you just need to remember as fact. Similarly, there is no F flat or E sharp. If you sharpen E, you get F. If you flatten F, you just get E. These are just things you need to remember. Step number 5 is doing a very similar thing, but for the A string now. So, we start off with the 3rd fret, which is C. 5th fret is D. 7th fret on the A string is E. And the 9th fret is F sharp. You also want to remember that the 2nd fret is a B. Once you've got those down, the next bit is comparatively much easier. I'm now going to show you how to work out any note on the D and G strings, given what we've already learned for the E and the A strings. So, if I play a note, this is a G. If I play 2 strings and 2 frets above it, so that's the 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the D string. Hear how those notes sound really very similar indeed? That's because they're the same note. These are both Gs. This G is an octave higher than this G. That's going to come in handy. So, the same thing works on the A to the G string. So if I want to know what this note is, I just need to go that way down, 2 frets and 2 strings. I know this note is a D because that's one of my anchors. So this must be a D as well. Perfect. Step 7 is similar. We're going to work out what notes are on the B and E strings here. It's a similar shape to the last one, except your pinky needs to go 1 fret higher. You see that? So it's 2 strings, but 3 frets. So if I want to know what this note is, I do that shape, 2 strings, 3 frets down to here, and I've got to do the same thing again, 2 strings, 2 frets to here. C is one of my anchors, so I know that's a C, that's a C, that's a C. Perfect. Step number 8 is the last one, and all you need to do really is fill in the gaps, and this is usually done by adding a sharp or flat symbol to a note you already know. For instance, if I'm playing a C here, I want to know what this note is. That's going to be a C sharp, because I know this is C, I know this is D, those are my 2 anchors, and what's in between? C sharp or D flat. Same thing. One more example of that. I know this is a B, but I don't know what this one is. I know this is an A, and I know this is a B, so this is A sharp, or B flat. So there we have it. Those are my 8 tips and tricks for memorising the fretboard. This will allow you a much greater freedom and awareness when writing solos and songs. If you want more videos, please subscribe, please like, please comment if you've learnt something, and don't hesitate to ask any questions or any specific video requests you might have. Goodbye.